Okay guys, so I think it is time to introduce our technology tool that will help us to calculate our statistics and parameters. It's called StatCrunch. How to access StatCrunch? You can access it either from my StatLab course if you have one. Then the StatCrunch will appear in the menu, in the course menu on the left side, and you can access it from there. Another option is you can go straight to their website, StatCrunch.com, and access that tool directly from their website. And option number 3, you can access from the homework assignment from my StatLab. Again, if you have a course, if your teacher assigns problem through StatLab. Sorry. Okay, so I'm in one of the homework problems right now, and I have this little window here that says copy, click to copy table. So I'm gonna click on it, and it's gonna give me an option to either copy this data set to clipboard, or open in Excel, or open in StatCrunch. So I'm gonna open it in StatCrunch. Takes a second. Okay, here we are. It's in the column called variable 1. You can actually change the name of the variable. So in my problem it was phenotype, so I'm gonna change it to phenotype. If we wanted to calculate our mean, standard deviation, variance, all of those statistics that we already learned about, this is what you do. You're gonna go to Stat, you're gonna open the drop down menu, and you're gonna go to Summary Stats. And our data right now is arranged in columns, so I'm gonna choose a column, and I have only one to choose from, but if you had more than one column, then you would have to choose which one you want to work with. So I will highlight, you still have to select it, even if it's just one, you still have to select that column. And then I will leave blank this option for now, and group by. I'm not going to group by anything. So here's your statistics that you want to calculate, maybe. Notice that it automatically highlights everything. You can keep it like that, and then it's going to calculate everything that's there. Or if you want to pick and choose what you want to calculate, then you would click on the statistic that you want. So let's say I want to calculate mean. I will click on mean and see how everything disappeared from this window, and I only have mean. So that's the list of stats that will be calculated here. Now let's say that I want to calculate a variance. Okay, so watch what happens. I'm gonna click on the variance. Well, see how the variance is here, but the mean is not here anymore. So what you do, if you want to select multiple statistics, you're gonna if you're on PC, you would hold the control button and click on mean while you're holding your control button, and see how it selected now both the variance and the mean. Alright, so I selected variance and mean so far. Let's also select a standard deviation. Oh, and if you're using Mac, I don't know Mac very well, but I think they have a command button. I think that's the one that you use. Okay, so let's keep on scrolling down, see what's available. So you could select median, range, minimum, maximum value, quartile 1, quartile 3, and some other things. Now let's talk about this unadjusted variance, unadjusted standard deviation. So which one should you use? Here we have regular variance and the regular standard deviation. How are they different? Let's talk about this. So remember when we learned about calculating standard deviations, we said that the formula for standard deviation of the population is different from the formula of the standard deviation of the sample. How are they different? Well, the sample formula has, in the denominator, it has n minus 1. And the population formula just has n. So the population standard deviation was unadjusted, and the sample standard deviation was adjusted. That 1 minus 1 in the denominator, that's adjusting of the denominator of the formula. So unadjusted variance and unadjusted standard deviations, those are parameters. They refer to the characteristic of a population, okay? And here, just the regular variance and the regular standard deviation, they are statistics. They refer to a sample. So just like in the calculator, I mentioned before that in the calculator you have to choose between it will give you both. It will give you S and sigma, where S is the standard deviation of the sample and sigma is the standard deviation of the population, and you have to know which one to choose based on what you're working with. Are you working with a population or are you working with a sample? You have to make that decision. So same thing here. If you're working with a sample, you would select regular standard deviation and variance, but if you're working with a population, then you would select unadjusted variance and unadjusted standard deviation. Okay, I think that's it. That's what we talked about so far in this course. So let's also select n, just for the sake of it. So I'm going to select n, so I have 4 statistics to calculate, and I'm going to hit compute, and voila, here we are. We have our variance, our mean, our standard deviation, and n calculated for us. So here you go. This is your introduction to StatCrunch. I will post more of those tutorials as we progress through the semester. Let me know if you have any questions.